finger. I took the flame. I had the intention to treat the finger. I treated it for, I'd say, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. The pain went out of it, and that was about a year ago, and never to return again. And this is the normal thing that a person can expect with BioGenesis. It has brought so much fun and joy into my life, because just to have these large and small miracles and blessings happen just brings so much pleasure and so much happiness into my life and into the lives of other people that I know are having the same experiences.
The first time I went to a class, ever since I haven't stopped using it. They're tools for everyday use, and the stories are many. From the fact that my husband was an alcoholic and he's not an alcoholic anymore. From the fact that I used to suffer an extremely bad case of social anxiety disorder, which means that I wouldn't even dare to go to a different place, a brand new place by myself, because I would be scared. That meant even something like a grocery store, or maybe put gas on a gas station that I have never been to. And that was bad. That was really bad. I suffered many years. I was on medication with Paxil. The medication didn't agree with me, so it was something that I could actually not take care of. And think about it, and it's a sickness. There's nothing you can do. It's a disorder. And it's not there anymore. I have completely forgotten about it.
I've had neuropathy for a few years now. It's a slow progression of numbness, and for me in the feet, it also comes along with pain. There's a lot of sharp pains as you lose the feelings in your toes. And I've been working on some alternative therapies, but after we did a BioGenesis treatment yesterday, I woke up this morning, and for the first time in a couple of years, I could feel the sheets with my toes. And I've been pretty excited about that all day long. I've been just still feeling my toes.
At that time, when I was introduced to BioGenesis, I can keep going and going. Anyway, I was diagnosed with depression. I was married, and like 4 years before, like in 1998, my primary told me he wanted to give me some antidepressants. And I said, no, I don't want to take antidepressants. And then I changed doctors. My new doctor told me, you need to take antidepressants. And so I thought about it. My husband at the time, he said, well, I don't want you to take antidepressants, but I really think that I need it. I was so down. So I started taking the antidepressant, got to the point that I was taking 3 pills daily. We're talking about Effexor 250 milligrams each. So I wanted to really get off the medicine. I was taking them since 1998 and 1999. I got introduced to BioGenesis last June in 2003. And I said, well, I heard, during the seminar, well, this is for depression, the dark violet progress. It will. And I said, well, this is going to be my best friend. Which, by the way, so I start wearing the dark violet progress. And I decided to stop with the pills cold turkey. So I didn't have any need to go back to the pills. As a matter of fact, I was feeling good.
I have a full set of wheels, and I don't keep them all under my bed at once. I didn't put them around the house. I waited till I got a second set of wheels. When I got my second set of wheels, I put them under my bed. I have a dog that has some problems. Her name is Angel. And Angel had a tumor in her throat, which was finally taken care of, and it reduced in size with high doses of prednisone. We then started reducing her prednisone dosage. As this was accomplished, the tumor started to grow back. Now, this tumor will kill her, and I could tell it was growing back because she was having trouble swallowing. The day the wheels were put under the bed, I started the flame on Angel's throat. 2 days later, she started swallowing fine again. The growth was going down and started to disappear. It was amazing to watch. It was just incredible.
You know, Arlen has told us so many great stories that to help her, she has so many experiences. She asked me to help her remember even some of them. So I want to bring up a few, and I hope I can remember all of them too. One was about your husband's arthritis and his weight.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that one. Well, yes, he has a type of arthritis and not too many people have. There are only like 100,000 people in the whole United States, and he's a person that doesn't believe in medicines. I mean, he's stubborn, he wouldn't take his medicines, and all I can say is that there's no more arthritis. It's gone, completely gone. He hasn't been in pain ever since I started. There's no more arthritis, none to be talked of. It's gone. It's in remission. The doctors cannot even believe it, by the way.
And the weight.
And the weight. Oh, my goodness. He used to weigh like 350 pounds. Right now, he's down to 250.
Here today in Miami, Florida, with Bert Ganzon. It's a beautiful day. We're having a BioGenesis seminar, and Bert is from Palm Coast, Florida, and he has some information to share with you. He has had diabetes for 35 years. You were diagnosed for 35 years, and he actually has a BioGenesis experience with his diabetes.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Bert Ganzon, and 35 years ago from the Philippines to the United States, I got an insurance from Prudential company, and they declined me. I didn't know that I had diabetes, so they declined me. It was too high, and then it's been high from 225. It went up to 386, the highest. Since then, it never went down. It's always 250, 270, 225 with the maximum dose of medication. So one day a friend of mine, a professor from the University of Illinois and University of Chicago, invited me to attend the BioGenesis seminar. So I was skeptical. What I did was to eat 2 Dunkin' Donuts that day and went to my brother's restaurant and ate a lot of food. The next morning I said I'll try how effective the BioGenesis therapy is. And to my surprise, my sugar was 175. Oh, I was so happy, and I thought that it will have a positive effect on me. So
I was in a car accident last December, a small head-on collision, and I've got 5 herniated discs, 2 in my neck and 3 in my lower back. And so I was going to physical therapy 3 times a week, and my lower back was hurting me constantly in one way or another for about 3 months. Couldn't get rid of the soreness. Sometimes if I just moved the wrong way, I'd get this shooting kind of pain that would paralyze me. That was so horrible. But there was a constant kind of ache, and I just couldn't get rid of it, and they didn't know what to do for me, and I was just doing my exercises. And so I came to this thing on Sunday, and at the end of the workshop, I laid on the table, and I got probably a 10-15 minute treatment. Then I went home, and I was sort of walking around on my way. I stopped at Home Depot, and I was walking around. I kind of felt a little dizzy. I'm kind of like something's going on, some energy's changing in my body. I'm going, that's interesting. And the next day, I would say I was about 60% better in my lower back. By the time 3 days went by, I wasn't feeling any pain in my lower back, and that was probably in May. This is November. I still have no pain in my lower back. I'm pain-free, thank goodness.
Wonderful. And that was with one treatment?
That was just with the one treatment. So
my life has dramatically changed. I don't have any stories about cancer. I don't have any stories about, saving anybody's life. But this is my daily life. Pain that goes away. Also, at the beginning, I noticed immediately changes with the business, like transactions that were held for many, many years, and all of a sudden, I set my intent and I put it on a piece of paper, and I put the translator and the amplifier one next to each other, and I said, oh my goodness, this is coming through. So there are a lot of little things that happen that maybe they're not life-changing or you know, but they make my life a lot easier.
BioGenesis is really priceless, and it really has enhanced my life. And what I was going to say is, after I gave the treatment to this lady and I was driving home, I just say thank you to God to show me this, because I was praying for something that I needed to help people, and I didn't know what it was. And yes, I was driving and I was crying and I was saying, thank you, God, to bring me to BioGenesis. Thank you.
Welcome back. Let's talk about how to actually use the tools in a BioGenesis treatment session. Now, before we go into these guidelines and step-by-step instructions, they're included in your handouts for the lecture, but before we talk about them, I want to emphasize one point, and that is these are cosmic tools. They cannot violate cosmic law. They only provide benefits. You cannot harm someone with the Genesis energy. You cannot overdose with it. You can't do anything wrong with it. If you use the wrong tool in the wrong way, the worst thing that's going to come about is the person still gets a benefit. It's just a different benefit than the one that you were trying to receive. So yes, if you do the wrong thing with the wrong tools, you may not get the benefit that you were trying to receive, but you will still have other benefits. And you're certainly not going to make things worse for the individual. I was giving a seminar in New York City, and then a woman stood up at that class. She told a story that had happened the previous seminar that I gave in New York City. It was about half a year earlier. She had gone to that one. It was a weekend seminar, Saturday and Sunday. She was a psychologist, but she also did energy work on clients, so she decided to buy the kit, thinking she would use it in her practice. It would help her clients. She ordered the kit. It shipped out from the office. She received it the following Friday. She got it Friday morning. She unpacked it, didn't open it, just had it on the desk. She hadn't bothered looking at her course materials at all. She hadn't reviewed everything. In fact, she decided that the way she was going to do it is she was going to study the course materials. She was going to try to memorize everything, but really learn it. Then she was going to start practicing with the tools on herself and on her family members. Once she felt that she had a really good grasp of it, she would then introduce it to her clients. That was a very responsible way to move forward for her, except that about an hour after she received her kit, she had a brand new client come in. This man had been the victim of a random attack in a park in London 5 years earlier. Someone had smashed his face in with a brick. He went in for surgery. He had reconstructive surgery. His presenting problems 5 years later, however, were severe loss of hearing out of both ears, complete loss of the senses of taste and smell, and constant agonizing headaches. She looked at him and she was thinking, what am I supposed to do to help this guy? It's been 5 years. He's had surgery. Nothing's going to help. Then she looked at the kit that was sitting on her desk that she hadn't even opened, and she was thinking, well, there is that, and David did say that we couldn't do anything wrong with it. She had forgotten everything that she learned in the class, but she figured she at least could muddle through some sort of a treatment. So she opened it up. She started using the tools. She knew the flame was good for physical trauma, so she used the flame all over the man's head quite a bit. She did about a 1 hour treatment session. That was Friday afternoon. Monday morning, she got a call from this man. She answered the phone. He told her who he was, and he said, I just called to complain. And she was thinking, I knew I shouldn't have done that treatment. He said, I can't sleep at night. And she asked why. And he said, my hearing is completely restored. All of those street noises that I haven't heard for the last 5 years, they're keeping me awake at night now. And then he said, oh, and another thing, those sub sandwiches that I love eating here in New York City, I can't stand them anymore. They taste awful. They smell disgusting. She laughed and she said, well, what about the headaches? She said that he was incredulous because in the complete absence of having the headaches, he had actually forgotten all about them. He had a 100% response. Every single thing that he had come in for, completely addressed, completely taken care of, which is a great experience. It's a great result. It's what we want. But the important part of that story is not how good his reaction was, how effective the treatment was. The important part of that experience is who was giving him his treatment. Someone doing the treatment for the very first time. Someone using the tools for the very first time. Someone who had forgotten how to use them, who hadn't studied, who hadn't practiced. Just use the tools. Even if you're making mistakes, you are still providing great benefits. Okay, with that said, take a look at your handout materials. Follow along as we go through the steps in a treatment session. You start out by setting the intent. You set the intent with the biotranslator and the bioamplifier. Hold them together, set the intent for the treatment session. How do you do this? You simply make it clear what you want the tools to do. You say, our intent for this session is for greater happiness, or to strengthen the heart, or to strengthen digestion, or to eliminate a specific disease, or to remove toxins from the body. You give it time, give it half a minute, give it a minute. Focus on what you want the tools to be able to do. This not only calls into play energy that will help, but it also tells the tools what you want them to do. It sets the blueprint, the roadmap for the treatment session. Then, now here's where I also have to say, the treatment session I'm teaching you right now is our basic treatment session. There are other things that we will add into the treatment session as we go through advanced classes. But for right now, let's focus on the basics. Once you've done that, go ahead and add the wheels onto the person's body. Then start in with the tools. Use the bio-oscillator. Point it directly at the person's body. Give the command, perfection is the natural state, light is triumphant. Use the bio-oscillator all over the body. Then take the bioamplifier. Hold the base of the bioamplifier just a few inches away from the body. Use a circular or a side-to-side motion. Go all over the body with this tool. When you're done with that one, move to the flame, the long pointy one. Point it directly at the person's body. Move it around in a circular motion or a side-to-side motion. Go all over the body. Focus on any area of need within the body. Now, here I should answer a specific question. People ask, is there a difference between clockwise and counterclockwise? And the answer is yes, but we don't know what the difference is. Cindy asked Lantos, is there a difference? And he simply said, yes. Now, the way he answers his questions, what that answer means is, yes, there is a difference between using a clockwise and a counterclockwise motion. But if it were a very simple difference to explain, he would have said it that way. The fact that he simply said yes means that there is a difference, but it may be a different difference between tools. Clockwise with a flame may be different from clockwise with a bioamplifier. Counterclockwise with a flame may be different from counterclockwise with the bio-oscillator or with the wand. So what do? If we don't know what the difference is, use both. Sometimes use a clockwise motion, sometimes use a counterclockwise motion, also sometimes use a side-to-side motion. Do this for all the tools. That way you will be sure to get all of the benefits of all of the tools. With the flame, be sure to focus on the wheels. If you have a wheel on the person's body, use the flame with a circular or side-to-side motion over each individual wheel. It's good to do that with a bio-oscillator as well, but it's going to be Very important to do that with the flame because it drives in the influence of the wheel into the individual. You will finish up with the wand. Brush around the person's body with the wand, going all over their body with the wand. Finish up having the person hold the wand with both hands for just a minute or so. Now, those are the easy, quick instructions. You can change it around if you need to. For example, if someone has a physical trauma, then the flame becomes the main tool that you're going to want to use. So if you're doing a 30-minute treatment session, instead of doing 5 minutes for each tool, maybe you want to use the flame for 20 or 25 minutes and the other tools just for 1 or 2 minutes each. That's fine. How long a treatment session do you need to have? Well, that's really up to you in most cases. You can get a really good benefit with just a 1 or 2 minute treatment session, but in many other cases, you need a 1 or 2 hour treatment session in order to get the benefit. In some cases, you need a 10 or 20 minute treatment every single day. In some cases, just 5 minutes every single day. It's up to the individual session. Cindy asked Lantos one time how often people should use the tools. What Lantos said was, just as a light rain shower is enough to nurture the environment, so also is the profound capacity for transformation found in only a few minutes of time spent daily with the blessed tools of Genesis. So he made it clear. There will be times when you need longer treatment sessions, but in many other cases, just 1 or 2 minutes, 5 minutes each day is going to be enough to provide a great benefit. Remember some of the experiences that we've gone over in this lecture. The very first experience with the flame, my great uncle, with that serious cut on his leg. His daughter used the flame for 2 minutes each day, and it had tremendous results. So you don't have to do long sessions, but some of them you really do have to do long sessions. It'll be different for each treatment session. The main thing to remember, just use the tools. Don't worry about doing anything wrong. You're not going to harm a person. You may not get the benefit you want, but you'll provide other benefits if you're doing it incorrectly, but still use the tools as much as you can. Use them every day. The tools are very good for personal benefit. BioGenesis really is to make life better. You can use them for societal benefits, using the biooscillator on a map, using the biooscillator for environmental concerns. These things are very beneficial. They're also beneficial for an individual though. And here's the great thing. Every time you use the tools for yourself, you are strengthening the light of Genesis for the entire planet. And this is important because it's the plan of BioGenesis, not just to make your life better, but to make all life better everywhere. Lantos told Cindy about something called a city of light, and he referred to this over and over. Cindy finally asked him what he meant by a city of light. Lantos said, "The earth is undergoing a process of great transformation. Through the service of the blessed hands of the light, we find an awakening of the light of peace, the light of truth, the light of creation, within the heart structure of many thousands of individuals around the world. It is time now for these numbers to multiply. Let the light of creation shine brightly within the heart of every member of this blessed planet, and from this world let the brilliant rays of peace shine forth to illumine the farthest reaches of creation. This is our hope for humanity. This is the grand destiny of Earth and her people. Let Earth enter this new era in which she shall be widely known as the great city of light." Thank you for joining me for this introductory biogenesis lecture. On the website where you found this lecture, you'll find many more lectures, advanced lectures, lectures pertaining to how to do treatment sessions, lectures for specific techniques. Watch them, you'll learn a lot, but focus on what you learned in this introductory lecture. Play around with the tools. Get the benefits in your life. Call us if you have any questions. And thank you.